So welcome to part 2 of this presentation. So we're going to dive a little bit deeper into problematic issues that I've encountered with AI usage in the classroom, and what the expectations and policies will be moving forward in regard to AI usage. And of course here, let me make the distinction, of course, that I'm talking primarily about unauthorized AI usage. All right, so again, what is unauthorized AI usage? Basically, that's where you are using generative AI on assignments where you know that what your instructor is looking for is your own words and ideas. Using AI to replace your own words and ideas, and using AI in some cases to replace your own critical thinking, which, that leads me to another point, because if you're using AI, you're actually not engaging in critical thinking. You're relying on a machine to do your thinking for you. And the information that AI gives you, may not always be accurate. The same thing applies here that we used to warn y'all about with Wikipedia, etc. That just because the information is on there doesn't mean that it's accurate. So you still have the responsibility of following up on all information that you receive, that you read, and definitely that you put into your papers. So what I've pulled up here, because I just wanted to give y'all the lowdown of kind of what it looks like from my end. This is one of my past courses. It was actually not a composition course, although I do have one composition paper that I used this particular scanner for that paper, but it was not a student that was in that class. But all the rest of these were from one of my literature classes. But this just shows you kind of what I was dealing with when I early on started to make a habit of scanning all of the papers that were submitted to me in Blackboard. And as you can see from this screen right here, this was, 8 scans, and 7 of those came up 100% AI generated according to this scanner. And only 1 came up 0%. But, this might be a good time to, have the conversation about AI scanners and how they work, and there's a lot of debate about the reliability of the scanners. And yes, they can give you false positives, they can give you false negatives, and they're not intended to be 100% reliable. They're just a gauge, and they're one tool that professors can use in gauging the probability of whether a paper was AI generated or not. So again, even though the number here, a 100% reading does not necessarily mean the paper was AI generated, but it raises the likelihood that the paper was most likely AI generated. And 0% is not necessarily a reliable factor either in this. Realistically, if you run a paper through a scanner